Robbie Williams Rewind.
Welcome to Robbie Williams Rewind. We are the champions. I'm Matt.
And I'm Lucy.
And along with help from special guest fans, we take you on an in-depth rewind through the solo career of multi-award-winning singer, songwriter and entertainer, Robbie Williams.
Today we're talking about one of Robbie's most extra special concerts ever. This was the Under the Radar gig, which happened at the Roundhouse in Camden on the 7th of October 2019.
Yes. The one we'd all been waiting for.
Yep. The one he'd been promising us for years on the app up front.
Yeah. Well, let's tell everyone who might not know, because I'm sure there's a few people listening that weren't around or maybe weren't there.
Yeah.
How did it all come about, Lucy? How did it start? When did the first rumours come around?
People used to ask him on chat whether we could have a gig one day where he could just play the songs that he really wanted to play rather than the hits, and whether we could have B-sides sung, because we all used to say things like, oh, I'd really love to hear this song live, and oh, when will we ever hear this song live? And he'd be like, well, I can't, I've got to play it down the middle for the majority of the crowd. There's got to
do the hits.
Yeah, got to do the hits. There's no point playing to 5% of the audience. He likes to keep 100% of the audience on his side.
Yeah. What was nice, though, and what's always been nice about Rob, apart from the recent years, is that he entered into dialogue about it, didn't he, with us?
Yeah.
And he explained, every time someone asked, he explained why he couldn't just come out and sing a load of B-sides or sing a load of rare songs that have never really been heard by the general public. So the fan view was, we want to hear all the stuff that we never hear, but obviously that's just never going to work in an arena or in a stadium. And obviously we know Rob doesn't like playing new stuff to people that don't know it.
Yeah.
So we're lucky when we hear a new one anyway. But yeah, so, and then what happened after that?
Well,
discussions in chat
I think it was,
for a little while.
Yeah, it was all talked about for a while. He always kept saying, oh, well, I'll do it one day. I'll do a special gig just for you and I one day. And then somehow it was leading up to the Heavy Entertainment Show tour, and somehow he got to saying, I've got an idea. I think I want to invite everyone over to my house.
Oh, that's right. That's how it started.
And we'll do the gig in the garden in the Wiltshire house.
I think we might have been on the chat when that was when he brought that up. Yeah.
And everyone was like, yeah. And obviously, because who wouldn't want to go to a party in Robbie's garden?
Yeah.
He was kind of talking about it like it would be a party, really. And then someone said, oh, why don't we have a pyjama party? And he liked that idea, and that kind of stuck in his head, clearly, because we did all end up wearing pyjamas. Well,
and it became codenamed Operation Pillow Fight.
Yeah, because it was like, oh, let's all have a sleepover at Robbie's house. But obviously no one was having a sleepover.
Yeah. And so forevermore in the chat, Operation Pillow Fight was then mentioned.
Yeah, OPF.
Yeah. And
it was also as a code name, because he didn't want Ida to know that that's what he was planning.
Oh dear. We've just let the secret out now. But people would come into the chat room and go, what are you talking about? But yeah, so that was cool. So a lot of the fans and a lot of the people listening will have been part of the early discussions about the Under the Radar gig. And obviously, as those discussions went on, people were getting more and more excited, because you never know whether, it's just a bit of a joke and it's never going to happen or not, do you? And then we kept asking Rob, and he said in the end, it's not going to work in the Wiltshire house.
Yeah.
It's just too complicated,
He said something like bussing everyone in and out.
It's basically down a lane, and there was no way of like bringing 1,000 people in safely and getting them out safely, and the security needed and everything else, and probably the insurance and probably local residents and all those kind of things. So it would have been very nice, but didn't happen. And then I think it went quiet for a bit, didn't it? When he said he was looking for a plan B. He was working on something else.
I think actually in the lead up to the Heavy Entertainment Show tour, he did come off chat a bit, didn't he? He sort of disappeared for a bit.
Withdrew for a bit.
And then suddenly he sort of came back, and then, suddenly we had the dress rehearsal, didn't we?
Yes, that was very nice.
But still no Operation Pillow Fight gig, and so the talks carried on.
Yeah, everyone was talking about it, dreaming about it. Will it happen? Won't it happen? Where will it happen? How will it happen?
Yeah. Until, I think, was it Angie said to us, Angie from our intensive care episode, that she actually said to Rob in chat, right, I'm coming over to the UK in the first 2 weeks of October from Australia. Will that be safe for the possible gig? And he just replied, yes, I think that'll be okay. So then we started to get an idea that actually it was imminent. And yeah. And then suddenly it was announced on the app.
Yeah, so anybody that was a member of the was it still called Upfront at that point?
It was just called the Robbie Williams
app. Yeah. Anybody that was a member was eligible to apply for tickets.
And he wanted to do it for free, didn't he? But
he did. He wanted to do the whole gig for free. That was the whole premise initially. But he had to hire an expensive venue in London, which was the Camden Roundhouse. And I think they needed a way of covering the costs and making sure that,
hiring security and that business.
Yeah.
Paying the band, I guess.
Yeah, and paying the venue. So they needed a way of making it almost a proper gig, but not quite. It was quite cheap, wasn't it?
He basically did it for free.
Yeah, he did. And actually, although a lot of people comment on, Rob's got lots of money, I think from a business point of view, they still needed to actually sell tickets and have a value to the ticket because it was an official event. And I think when you buy a ticket, there's a contract that you enter with the venue with laws and rules and stuff on it and insurance.
Yeah.
So I think when you have a ticket that's been paid for, it covers all that sort of legal.
I can't remember how much it was though. Was it like 40 quid?
I think it was something like 40 something. Yeah.
It was quite cheap.
Yeah, it was, yeah. So it got officially announced. Everybody went into absolute ticket stress mayhem as normal.
Yeah.
And I think we got a code or something. Can't remember. Yeah, I think we did. And
you could only buy them through the app. You had to
you got
click the link in the app. And you had to have been a member already. So once it was announced, you couldn't then join the app to buy a ticket. You had to have already been a member.
Authentic fans only.
Yes, which was the best bit.
It was nice. So I think most people who wanted to go managed to get tickets, to be honest. And then there was a lot of people probably that couldn't travel or couldn't go.
Yeah.
But most people that we know or we've got to know over the years were there, and that was that made it very special indeed, didn't it?
Yeah.
I think before we go in, so this episode we're going to be joined by lots of guest fans, and we're going to play some of those guest fans interviews in, and so you'll hear from some other people as well. But we need to talk about the build up to it from a Q point of view as well, don't we really? Because quite a lot happened on Camden High Street. And we met with lots and lots of people we know, and met a few people that we'd not met before. And there was a very special atmosphere on the build up to the gig. I do remember that it rained just before we went in, absolutely bucketed down. Everyone was stood there in their pyjamas and on Camden High Street, in the middle of London. And then, there was also a point where I think we saw Robbie's van go by. And and I think he was doing an Insta at some point. I don't know. Somehow we worked out that he was having a Nando's. That was one of the things that happened, I think,
really?
backstage. Yeah. I think an order for Nando's or they stopped in Nando's. I don't know. Something like that. So we were all waiting to go into the gig, and then we got in.
Had to go up quite a large flight of stairs.
Yeah,
which is always worrying when you're trying to go into a concert.
And we everyone entered in I think it was a relatively orderly fashion. Mostly, everyone was respectful of each other, and we found our place stage staged right, left as you look at the stage on the barrier. Just assembling our bits and pieces, getting ourselves sorted out. Certain people were taking coats and things off and sort of bending over and putting things on the floor. And who should appear on the other side of the barrier but Robbie?
That's the most
literally
surreal
as
moment.
the crowd was still walking in, and I think he ask everyone just to kind of chill or calm.
He did, yeah.
And he just went champions and identified a few other people as well. And so that was
Well, it was nice that he sort of walked in and then just got as far as us and stopped. Didn't walk any further. He saw us and just
He had his
I'll stop here.
He had his suit shorts outfit on, I think.
Yeah.
And he was just stood there looking at us and just proceeded to have a little chat with everyone. And
he said, I wanted to see who the mentals were that were going to be at the front.
And we were part of that, yes. Very proudly so.
Yeah. I think he was just so excited. He just wanted to be part of the atmosphere.
I think he wanted to be part of the crowd coming in himself at his own gig, which was lovely. We're going to talk about the gig in set list order.
Yeah.
But should we hear, before we get started, unless there's anything you want to start with, should we hear from one of our guest fans?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
My name's Debbie and I'm from Milton Keynes.
Did you go to the UTR gig in Camden?
I did.
And what did you think?
Amazing.
Any favourite moments?
Think for me, it was spending just that time with all the family, friendlies.
Yeah.
Just because we all wanted to hear those songs so badly. And he just looked so happy singing them, which made my heart. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was amazing. We was actually watching it last night, which was what made us come down earlier than we expected.
A bit of a warm-up for
yeah.
today. Right.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, he just exuded confidence and love on the stage.
Yeah.
Loved it.
So the lovely Debbie there. Good to hear from you, Debbie. Thanks for recording that with us.
I think we recorded that in Stoke, didn't we, in the queue?
Yeah, you can hear all the gabbling in the background from the queue.
I think it might have even been the sound check going on in the background there.
Yeah, sounds like it, yeah.
So yeah, Robbie opened with HES. He kind of just walked on the stage and just started singing. Very relaxed.
Yeah, it was a low-key event, and I think we all knew it was going to be. You know, the band were arranged on the stage, there was lighting, but it wasn't over the top. It wasn't an over-the-top production. It was just really, well, I mean, we're all stood there in our pyjamas for a start. Obviously, he had gold pyjamas on, so had to outglitz everybody. But and I remember after HES, there was absolutely resounding applause after that first song. I mean, the place just went nuts.
Yeah.
Absolute nuts.
I know, his grin.
Yeah. And I can't remember whether it was after that song, but it was certainly at the beginning where he said, anybody that's come along with anybody else this evening to see Robbie Williams, I'm not going to be singing the hits. So if you expected Angels and Rock DJ and Let Me Entertain You, I'm not doing them.
Yeah. Oh, it was nice. So yeah, then the next song was Gospel.
Oh, yeah.
Which is always a treat to hear that live. And I think he just loved the fact that the crowd were all singing back at him. It was, really, really special. At the end of that song, he just had the biggest grin on his face again. It was, amazing.
Oh, definitely. And Dinosh came down for the one.
Oh, yeah. Is that how it goes?
I don't know. I just written down this whoa, whoa, whoa. Anyway, Dinosh came down and it was cool.
It was.
So, shall we hear from another one of our guest fans?
Yeah.
Lisa Adams from Leamington Spa.
We're also asking people about the Under the Radar concert, for memories for a special episode on that. And I know that Lisa has got a very special memory. Do you want to tell us about that?
Very, very special memory.
Well, we're all queuing, as you know. Loads of us in the queue. And I just thought everyone was a bit miserable looking and I wanted to cheer everyone up.
Yeah.
So I said to my friends, wouldn't it be great if someone went in the Morrison's petrol station on the tannoy and started singing Robbie songs? They're like, go on then. I was like, okay, I will. So I went over and sang on the tannoy. So everyone heard, and
What
it was
did you
really
sing
loud. Good People and
okay.
Angels.
Classic. And I just
we
caught
could
the
hear
end
it
of it, I
up the
think.
road.
I think I got down there in time to sing along.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Along with several other 100 other people and people walking along Camden
I know,
High
yeah.
Street.
It was brilliant.
I didn't realise how loud it was. I said until I watched the video back. It's like, oh my God.
Good old Morrison.
It was funny.
And then you tweeted it, didn't you?
I
Someone
think
tweeted
my
it.
friends
Oh,
tweeted it. I think Debbie tweeted it.
And then
Well
Robbie
done,
saw
Debbie.
the tweet, didn't he?
Yeah.
I saw-
And he said, who was that in the garage singing? And they all shouted Lisa Adams. And he's like, what did he say? I can't remember what he said now.
No, I'm trying to remember.
Oh, it was brilliant. Oh, no, it was hilarious, he said.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
It was hilarious.
It
and
was.
It was embarrassing.
it's what the queue
wasn't it?
needed.
Definitely.
Bit of a pep
Lift
up.
everyone's spirits.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then it
everyone
chucked
in
it
the
down
mood.
with rain just before we went in.
Well, it did, didn't it? Yeah.
So thank you, Lisa. Absolutely hilarious. What a star. I mean, literally walked into the petrol forecourt kiosk and said, could she sing on the tannoy with the loudspeaker system? and we could suddenly hear this kind of very echoey, tinny sort of...
Because we were actually round the corner from the petrol station.
Yeah.
But we could still hear it where we were.
And then we could sort of see people moving towards it. And then I could see general public walking down Camden High Street, like looking into the petrol station, like, what is going on?
And why were all these people queuing? Like, it was
Yeah.
a really long queue.
So I reckon if Lisa allows us, and I'm sure she will, we might have to actually include that little clip on the webpage somewhere so people can see it. Because it was good fun.
Yeah,
So
it was amazing.
yeah. So what came next? Oh, I've made a note here after gospel. I think we said that, but yeah, we may have talked about it actually. But my note was he looked completely overwhelmed after that one.
Yeah.
And loads of applause, obviously. And he went, "Well, that's emotional, innit?" I just thought that was cool.
And then he sung one of my favourite songs, Ghosts.
Ghosts. Why is it one of your favourites?
It's just a great song. I love it.
It's one of your favourite top 20.
It
probably,
is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think we've got Serena to join us next.
We have, very appropriately, Serena's next.
We're here in Munich with Robbie Williams, or soon to be with Robbie Williams.
Yeah.
And we have met
Serena.
Serena. And Serena, how did you become a Robbie Williams fan?
Well, my parents always listened to Robbie in the car when I was little, and I just sang along, although I couldn't speak a word in English back then because I'm German. Yeah. So yeah, I just sang along, and then someday I realized that I am a fan, and I got all the albums that I hadn't listened to then, and yeah.
Cool.
That was that.
And we want to ask you about Under the Radar. You were at Under the Radar in Camden.
Yeah.
What did you think of that? How was that for you?
That was awesome. Yeah, I mean, to just see the whole bunch of people singing all the songs that he never can sing live because no one else knows them was just amazing, and that remains the best concert I've ever been to.
Yes.
Yeah.
And did you have a favourite song from the show?
Yeah, Ghosts.
Ghosts.
Ghosts,
right.
because that was the first song I consciously remember listening to.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you, Serena.
You're
Nice
welcome.
talking with you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you for having me.
Cheers.
Yeah, that was a nice moment in Munich. We were sat at the barrier, and Serena and her friend, who is coming up later, were sat behind us and said, "Are you Lucy and Matt?" We said, "Yeah." "Oh, I listened to your podcast." It was really nice.
When people say that, very nice.
So, yeah, they kindly agreed to do a little chat right there and then, which is why it's very noisy.
You can hear MC Hammer in the background.
Is that what it was?
Well, I think it sounded like it. It's not clear enough to worry about copyright, so we're all right. Yeah, and I think particularly during Ghosts, you can just see that Rob really enjoyed singing that one. I mean, he enjoyed singing all of them. There was just a sheer look of excitement on his face doing it. He'd really sort of... what is it? 1, 2, 3, third song in, I think he'd really sort of settled into it and thought, yeah, this is good.
Well, because everyone was singing every word. It was just such a great atmosphere.
The energy in that room is very hard to even describe. I'm sure anybody that was there felt it. It felt like such a long time coming, and then obviously being in there felt a bit like a dream. And then it was just happiness, wasn't it? Just an amazingly happy bunch of people in one room singing their heads off.
So the next song he sung was Run It Wild. And
before that he talked about obviously Flynn and Tim and how he'd been introduced to them by Ida's brother, and how they'd kind of become his brothers and how important and special they are to him. And he gave them such a lovely warm welcome. So nice. And then Flynn came onto the stage with his guitar, and they went into Run It Wild from Under the Radar Volume 2. And Rob just said, this song just existed. As if it just appeared.
I think it was Flynn's song, wasn't it? So he wrote it, and then Robbie changed a little bit of it.
And it was nice that Rob got Flynn to actually sing a few of the verses as well. Yeah. So they kind of shared the singing of the song, which was lovely.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, so that was special. So let's hear from another one of our guest fans.
I'm Amanda and I'm from Essex.
Now, did you go to the Under the Radar gig in Camden?
I did.
We kind of know you did, but I have to ask that question.
You stood next to us.
And what did you think about it?
Absolutely amazing, euphoric. Just, wish I could relive it again.
Yeah. Any particular favourite moments spring to mind?
Just everything, just hearing those, Under the Radar tracks, and just how intimate it was, and seeing how relaxed Robbie was and his reaction at us knowing all the words, and just absolutely amazing.
Yeah, epic. So lovely to speak to Amanda.
Yeah, Amanda was next to us, just right behind us, I think, during that concert.
Yeah.
So it was nice to share that with her. Because you never know who you're going to end up with in the concert, even though you know lots of people. It's always nice when you end up with people you know right next to you. So.
We had a lovely bunch of people around us.
Yeah.
And you want that when you're only wearing your pyjamas, So then you went on to Viva Life on Mars from Rudebox.
Mm-hmm. That was incredible to hear that.
Obviously written with Danny and Kelvin, who've been on the show.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's such a sort of bonkers song. It was just so good to hear it live for the first time ever.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty zany number, isn't it? And it really worked in that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really good.
So, Lucy, shall we hear from another guest fan?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm Jo. I'm from Melbourne, Australia.
So did you go to the Under the Radar concert as well then?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
You came over for that as well?
Yeah, I travelled by myself. I met Bettina at Dubai Airport because she's from Queensland. I'm from Victoria. And we travelled here. We shared accommodation, so it was good to meet other people, share accommodation. And I flew back a few hours after the concert. I had to be back at work on Wednesday. So I got here, I think, Thursday, and then I left, it was Sunday night, and I had to be at work on Wednesday.
Wow.
What did you like about the Under the Radar gig, apart from all of it?
The fact that it was just invite only for everyone that was on the app, and it was just $50. And just pyjama party, everyone's friends, and just like his messages when he was sitting down saying that, we're like a family, and, we've been with him for 20 years, and just that growing old, when he said that at Nebworth, and just the intimacy of it, and him being allowed to sing, the songs he wants to sing, which I hope he sings some of those songs tonight. So it was just different, and it was one of the best, and it was amazing just to be in that environment. It was just awesome. I don't think I'd ever experience anything like that again unless he invites us again, but just
maybe one day.
Hopefully.
Just be part of a community, and just, like my friends at home don't get it. And, you come here and everyone understands what it's all about, which, it just makes me feel, just part of what we're doing here. So yeah, I appreciate it, and I appreciate everyone being here. And I like to help out Amanda as well with the Donna Louise, and support her charity and stuff. So it's really cool.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
So yeah, there was Jo from Australia, travelled all the way. I think we interviewed her in Stoke there, didn't we? She travelled over for that one.
Oh yeah, we did. We interviewed her in Stoke, and then she also came over to the Munich gig, and obviously she came over for Under the Radar. So
what a travel!
Dedicated fan. Actually, there were quite a lot of people from Australia at the Under the Radar gig, which just shows
it's a one-off.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, hopefully we get another one-off, but I think people had to treat it as a one-off, and people, I think, sold body organs to to come. Yeah. And I do remember, just before we move on to the next track, we watched. We watched Chris's video of Under the Radar, and we'll talk about Chris a little bit later on in this episode. And when I was watching it, this is the part between Viva Life on Mars and Numb where Rob talked about being in up front and being on the app, or the various sort of chat apps that we've had over the years. And he said that, there was one day he was just in bits. He was in a mess, just totally screwed up. And he said he went onto the chat, and people were there for him, and it was just a lovely thing.
Yeah.
And I thought that was just really nice because, he didn't, at that point, he hadn't talked too much. He hadn't laid it on too thick. He was just singing the songs and doing his thing. But yeah, it was a little message to the fans there. Obviously, people that haven't been involved with that might not quite understand. But, when Rob used to come into the chat room, he was, quite a lot of the time fairly open about whether he was okay or not okay. Sometimes he wouldn't say anything about that, but other times he would, be saying, I need a chat, I'm in a bit of a state, or so. And then what did we move on to, Luce?
The next song was Numb.
From Under the Radar, Volume 2. So he said, I think it was before or after this one, he said, if there's any song that should have gone on a main album, this was it.
It is a great song.
Yeah.
And it went down really well. So let's hear from Vivian, who is Serena's friend that we also met at Munich.
So here we are in Munich, about to see Robbie Williams, after Josh Savage and Roundhouse, and we are with Vivian. Vivian, how did you become a Robbie Williams fan?
I became a fan after first seeing him live on the Take the Crown tour in Vienna.
Yeah.
And after seeing him live in person, it really mesmerized me, and he was so charismatic and had such a great presence on stage that I just wanted to know all of his songs after that. And that's how I got to know him.
Great. And you went to Under the Radar as well.
Yes.
How was it Under the Radar? Operation Pillow Fight, yeah. Did you wear your pyjamas?
Of course.
Yes.
I bought new pyjamas that looked a bit nicer than the ones I had at home. But
me
of
too.
course, stick to the dress code.
We did. We had matching pyjamas. and how was that for you? What was it like?
Yeah, it was quite emotional because we heard so many songs that we never expected to hear live. And I think my favorite was actually Numb, so the song from the Under the Radar album.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because the pain in that song really resonates with me. It was really nice to hear that, and also to hear Robbie say how comfortable he feels around all the friendlies. And
yes.
Yeah, it was a nice experience.
It was amazing night, yeah.
And I think you went on stage with Robbie once, didn't you?
Yeah, at the Heavy Entertainment Show tour in Budapest 2017. Yeah.
Cool. How was that?
It was, I have no words for it.
Were you able to speak?
Actually, I don't remember everything about it because my mind just went blank once he picked me. So I just tried not to cry, not to faint, and it worked out quite well. So it was my biggest dream, and then it came true. So
oh, wow.
It was really great.
Oh. Well, thank you for speaking to us, Vivian.
Thank you for making
Enjoy
the podcast.
Concert. Oh, thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Cheers.
So, lovely to chat with Vivian in Munich as well. So what came next?
Dirty Rotten.
Dirty Rotten.
The
Good
one-
for nothing.
This is the one where he said that he couldn't sing.
Yeah, he said, someone asked him in chat one day, how do you sing the entire verse in one breath or entire sentence in one breath or something?
Yeah.
And he said, it's easy. Computers. Was it production?
Computers.
Yeah, that was it. But then he said, let me see if I can do it. And he went on to actually do it.
Yeah, it was really good.
So I think, yeah, he can do it.
Yeah, sounded amazing.
So let's hear from another guest fan.
Okay.
Marie Burberry, and I come from Coventry.
And did you go to the Under the Radar gig?
I did.
What do you think about that?
Love that.
Yeah.
I love anything but Robbie related.
What was particularly special about Under the Radar?
The songs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, don't. I can't.
It is hard to choose one. That's a big question.
I would. I don't know. I really can't say because I loved the whole. Everything about it. Yeah. It was just amazing, and I wasn't at the front, so that's even more.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't have to be. You don't have to be at the front to enjoy the gig. The rehearsal. I was away. Yeah, we were at the back. And drunk and merry and happy, and can't remember seeing Robbie, but I knew I had a good time.
Yeah, so that was our lovely friend Marie.
And now it comes to the best bit of the whole concert. For me.
What, Robbie came and got you?
No. When he introduced the 80s, and as I said on our Rude Box episode, was looking at me as he said, I'm sorry, I can't sing the 90s, but I can bring you another decade.
Lucy's always asked him for the 90s.
I love the 90s.
She was petitioning for it in the chat before the gig.
On Twitter, yeah.
And there were many other people asking for things as well, which we will come to. So how was that then, to hear that he wasn't really going to do the song you wanted, but he was...
Well, the 80s would have been my
second
choice anyway, so I was still happy. And I was just happy that he looked at me while he said it.
Yeah.
Because he knew it was me that kept requesting it.
Nice bit of rapping in there.
He does it very well. And he did it really well live as well.
It's a good song. Very, well, we talked about it on the episode, so we won't go over it again now, but good song.
But I bet Jerry was excited to be able to play it live as well, because he wrote it with Rob.
Absolutely. The band looked as though they were having a ball as well, actually.
Oh, yeah.
We should talk about that. They were very into it. You could see that they were enjoying it. I mean, they're consummate professionals, absolutely tight, great performance, but you could just see there was something different about the way they were performing.
Yeah.
They were also quite relaxed as well, I think.
Yeah, enjoying it.
Yeah. Let's hear from another guest fan.
So we've got Lisa from Dorset.
Hi, Lisa.
Hello.
So we're talking about the Under the Radar gig. Did you go to the Under the Radar gig?
I did, yes.
And what did you think about it?
It was really, really special. Robbie was just Robbie, so it was really a really good night.
Any particular highlights or songs you stuck out for you?
I loved when he sang Green Light and Into the Silence.
Yeah.
And just when he sat down and just had a proper good chat with us all.
Oh, that was good.
Oh, wasn't it nice? Yeah.
Yeah. Forgot about that.
Just
bit.
sat down and just had a chat.
Yeah. It was just him talking to us, and it was just like a chat in your living room, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was
You
very
wore your
good.
pyjamas?
I did wear my pyjamas.
Yeah.
Walked through London in my pyjamas. Walked back to the hotel in my pyjamas.
It was a bit odd walking down Camden High Street in pyjamas, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely a little bit odd.
Any other highlights you can think of?
Just the friend, just everyone's so friendly in all the queues all the time. It's a really good feel. Yeah, definitely a really good feel. Yeah.
Lovely.
Thank you for talking to us. Nice to meet you.
Thank you
Cheers.
very much.
That was Sarah.
Yeah, we met her in the queue at the O2 a month ago.
Yeah, that was nice. We met a lot of people there, actually.
Yeah. Some people that we hadn't met before, so that's always good.
Always come and say hello if you see us. We're not scary. We're just normal people. Well, we're normal crazy people like you. We're always up for a chat. So, next up is...
Gold.
Isn't
that sounded more like Spandau Ballet.
I know, I did it on purpose.
Oh, okay.
Oh, God. And he really enjoyed singing this one.
Yeah.
Really. And I like Gold. So that was from Under the Radar 3.
Yeah.
And let's play a special guest fan interview that very much links to Gold.
Okay.
Hello, the champions. I'm Silke. I'm from Germany. I thought the Under the Radar gig was super special, intimate. I think we've never seen him so happy and so free.
Yes.
And the boy in him was shining through. Yeah. Many favorites, but that one really stood out.
Yeah.
Because we kind of asked for the set list for the B-sides.
Did you have a favourite moment from that gig?
I love Gold. It goes down my spine, up and down my spine. I love it. And it's my go-to tune when I need a pickup.
Cool. Thank you, Silke.
You're welcome.
And there was the lovely Silke talking about Gold.
Yeah.
And I think it was around about Gold when Rob was having a bit of a chit-chat and he was talking about a factoid, and he was telling Leo something about the song Don't You Forget About Me, which is by Simple Minds.
Yeah.
And I think he was talking about the fact that he was telling Leo the story of how that was offered to them or something, wasn't it? Or I think he asked him, what did he ask? He asked him a question, didn't he?
He said this was offered to someone, but they turned it down. Guess who?
And then Leo said, what, you? And he went, no, I would have been fucking 7, you twat. I think he was talking about youthful, the youthful Leo in his 20s.
He's only 24 at the time.
And Rob, a little bit older than that. That was a funny moment. Those of you that were there will understand. And then we move on to...
Coffee, Tea and Sympathy.
A classic.
Yeah, that was great when that started. You just
Amazing.
thought, oh my God, he's really playing it. That's so cool.
It got an extremely amazing reception. I mean, every song did, but I think there was something a lot of people were hoping for this one, weren't they?
Yeah.
This is the one people were hoping for, and he did it.
It should have been on Escapology.
Yeah. And let's listen to another guest fan interview.
Okay.
So you've got Caroline from Vienna with us. Caroline, what did you think of the Under the Radar gig?
I think if I had to choose, it could be possibly the best gig ever. Yeah.
I'd agree.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I made a mistake. I went there too late, a little bit too late, but it was amazing.
Any particular highlights or any songs that really stuck out?
Yeah, a few, not just one. Coffee, Tea and Sympathy. Oh, yeah. The 80s. Yeah. When he looked at you and said, I was asked to do the 90s, but I'm giving you the 80s instead. Yeah, exactly. 80s, yeah. Eyes on the Highway for me. It was wonderful. Raver.
Yes.
Raver.
That was my
wow.
favorite,
It was really the whole crowd was jumping up and down. It was going crazy. It was amazing. Raver, well, Into the Silence, obviously, at the end. AGS. AGS, oh.
So basically all of them.
Yeah, actually all of them. Exactly.
They were all good.
Yeah.
Some, you had your pyjamas on?
Yes, of course. Yeah. Brought them from Vienna. And stood there, and we had a hotel far away, about 1 hour drive. It looked a lot closer. Yeah. So we couldn't go back. Yeah. So we had everything on us. Yeah. There is a picture of me. It was horrible. But the gig was,
the best ever.
Yeah, the best ever. I can't describe it. And if I watch the video, there's the video from the whole gig.
Yeah.
It's also not to describe, actually.
Yeah.
I'm reliving all these feelings. Yeah. No, it was just wonderful. Ooh. Yeah, hope he does it again.
Yeah,
yes.
we do hope the same.
Come on,
yes.
please, Rob.
Yes. He's got a lot of projects going on, but I'm hoping a bit of squeeze it in at some point. Yeah. There's 500 songs on his computer that he can bring out,
But these already released ones, we sing it all back to him.
Yeah.
It must be. He needs to do it for himself also, not only for us. It's for you.
Thank you, Caroline. Thank you for
Thanks.
sharing your memories.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, Caroline from Vienna joining us there.
She's actually coming up on a future episode when we talk about the Christmas album.
Yeah, looking forward to that. It's nearly Christmas. Just a few weeks to go. So then what did we move on to?
Well, interestingly, on the set list, which we were lucky enough to get a proper copy of, was Blasphemy. But unfortunately, they didn't actually play it. It got dropped from the set list. Don't know why.
Yeah,
so
we didn't get Blasphemy.
That's sad. That
Often
got
happens
dropped.
in shows, doesn't it? Even one like this where, maybe it's one that isn't working for him, or maybe they sometimes have to cut because of time.
Yeah.
But yeah, we didn't get Blasphemy. What we got after that was Heaven from Here, from I've Been Expecting You.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting him to play that one.
No, that was a complete surprise.
Don't know why. It just wasn't on my radar. It came under the radar.
Under the radar. Yeah, I was going to say that joke. You
God.
set that up and I just didn't knock it down properly, did I?
No.
I was too busy looking at what interview was coming up next. So, let's see on my highly complex system here. Let's go to another guest fan interview before we move on. Okay. So we're here with Sarah. Did you go to the Under the Radar gig?
I did, yep.
And what did you think about it?
I thoroughly enjoyed it. Different experience being around people that were more genuine fans, sing along to music that you don't normally hear at Robbie Williams concert. A lot of the B-sides, different songs, and it was absolutely amazing atmosphere. Everyone was really friendly, kind, and caring to one another.
Oh.
It was. And did you have any particular highlights or songs or moments that really stuck out in the evening?
Sang, like I said, sang quite a few different tunes. Some old ones that I'd not heard for a long time. I got quite emotional, which I normally do anyway, but I definitely had a few tears. And again, people around me were looking after me, and we were all sort of hugging and sort of looking after one another. So yeah, it was amazing.
And you had your pyjamas on?
I certainly did. That was probably the biggest highlight, being able to wear my comfies to a concert and not having to.
It was very comfortable.
Yes, not having to worry about looking too smart. You could just lounge around in your pyjamas. So that was probably the best.
And you managed to get on the barrier as well, I think.
We did, yes. I think we were something like 70th in the queue. But yeah, quite lucky we did still get to the barrier around then. And luckily Robbie did come down our way, so I've got some quite nice photographs as well with him in his silk pyjamas.
Well, thank you for talking to us, Sarah.
Thank you
Nice
very
to
much.
see you.
Thank you.
Cheers. Thanks to Sarah there.
Another lady we met at the O2.
Yeah. So what happened after Heaven from Here?
Well, then he spotted Sarah Hoyland in the
Yes, he
crowd.
did.
From our episodes 3 and 4, which was I've Been Expecting You, which obviously Heaven from Here was on. And he said, you're always asking me for Phoenix from the Flames, aren't you? Yeah, I'm not doing that one.
With a very cheeky look on his face.
Yeah. And then, bless him, he did a bit of a cappella of it.
Did.
What was funniest was while he was singing it, Guy decided to join in on the piano, and Robbie tried to
Sort
get
of
him to stop.
waving his hand downwards to say stop, and they kind of didn't. They sort of carried on a little bit.
I don't think Guy even noticed that Robbie was trying to get him to stop.
No, because it almost turned into the actual song, didn't it? But
yeah. I think probably Rob was worried that he wouldn't know the words, and that if Guy started playing it,
yes,
he'd get stuck in some embarrassing moment where he just couldn't carry on anymore.
that was nice though, because everyone sort of sang along. There you go, Sarah.
Yeah.
You got your Phoenix from the Flames, sort of. He did say do it in the next one though.
He
So we're
did.
going to have to hold him to that, on both accounts. The next one and Phoenix from the Flames, because I'd
Yeah.
like to hear it as well. That'd be great.
He did say, I promise, didn't he?
There was a promise made, Rob, to the fans.
And to Sarah.
There's a couple of thousand people witness to that.
Yeah.
Oh, and he said afterwards, shall we do this again? And
Yeah.
that was it. That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
And then we went on to Reverse.
yeah. And Flynn came back out for this one.
Mm-hmm. Played the guitar.
I like this song, but it's one of the songs that I don't actually know the words to. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Do you know them?
When it's on, yeah, but I couldn't sing it right now.
No, there you go.
Yeah.
Lovely song. That doesn't mean I don't like it. It was just that when it came on, when we were watching it, I was just like, oh, I don't really know the words to this one. Whereas I do know, well, I don't know the words to every single song, but I know quite a lot of them.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
I think we've got someone else we want to hear from.
Yeah.
So we've got Christina from Denmark. She's been on the show before.
Yes.
Well, so Christina, tell us about Under the Radar. What was it like for you?
That gig was absolutely amazing. It's definitely one of my 2 favorite gigs I've ever been to. And I mean, the whole pyjamas, Operation Pillow Fight theme, and the crowd, and the whole setup. And I think that the fact we've talked about it with Rob for so long.
Yeah. Yes, we have.
The whole build-up.
Yes.
It added something that you don't get to a usual gig.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's true.
Yeah. And then it just, I mean, it went so well. It was so lovely, and we didn't want Let Me Entertain You or Angels or anything. It was just give us all those, as many as possible of those tracks you
and
can't play.
And he did do a lot, didn't he?
He did.
Yes.
It was so good, and I mean, we kind of knew he would open with HES.
Yes.
Right.
But we didn't know anything after that.
No.
And the
leaks.
situation with the next song, Gospel, when he says, you know it, and we just sing back at him.
Yeah.
And his reaction, it was... And it's probably the one gig where it's just one big highlight.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I had a proper moment with Reverse until he fucked it up, but still, I mean... It was so good.
So you had a bit of a moment with Reverse.
Yeah, I know those iconic lines. It's just a bad
That was
day.
a bit of a fave moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
There's something about it when you get them sung to you like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've always adored that song. I remember I wrote a post about it on Upfront years ago because it's always meant a lot to me. So.
Great.
Cool. I was going to ask something else. What was I going to ask? So we should have an Under the Radar 2 gig,
Definitely.
yeah? Operation Pillow Fight 2.
Yes.
Yeah. Come on, Rob. We need one of those.
Please. I mean, it's quite funny sitting here at this huge gig talking about an Under the Radar gig.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, something that maybe many fans here might not quite understand.
No,
just a few.
Yeah. Well, considering they've played Lost and most of the people here didn't even react.
Yeah.
Yes.
So.
Oh, and here comes the new version of Angels in the background, so we have to keep talking for copyright reasons. Yeah. We better say thank you to Christina.
Yes.
Thank you for speaking
you
to
very
us.
much.
And it's very nice to be enjoying the concert with you.
Oh, thank you so much. I
Hopefully
really
we have a good
enjoyed
concert.
with you guys too.
Thank you.
It was nice to be with Christina.
Yeah, that was another lucky situation where we ended up next to someone we knew in Munich.
Super passionate fan. So it was really fun being with her. So yeah, what happened next in the Under the Radar gig, I wonder?
Jesus, in a camper van.
Yeah.
What a treat.
That is very rare that you hear him even talking about it now, because it cost him 2.5 million.
Well, so he says.
He likes to say. I think it cost him something, but I think that number is made up. Yes. So very catchy lyrics, this song. Oh my God, you just got to sing along with that, haven't you?
Yeah.
So that was quite a moment. It was just moment after moment, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. We need another one. If we haven't already said that enough.
Yeah, let's have another one, Rob. So, let's hear from another guest fan.
Yeah.
Someone we met in Dublin recently.
Okay.
Let's hear.
So here in Dublin, and we have met Sarah Page, and apparently it's the first time we've actually met, but I feel as I know you because you run Robbie Williams Everything, right? Tell us about the Facebook group. Tell us about that.
I started it in, what year was Take the Crown? 2012. So I started then. I started off with 10 members, and then I have 20,000. Wow. It might actually be 23,000. It's gone up since I've been here.
Right.
And Robbie knows about it himself, because when I met him, he said, Sarah deserves a photo because she's got 8,000 members. That's when I met him.
Yeah.
Now it's gone to 20,000. And yes.
Brilliant. And so there's always good information, people sharing photos,
Yes, loads
stories.
Of photos. Yes.
Brilliant. And we also believe that you went to the Under the Radar gig.
Yes, I did.
How was that for you?
It was epic. Wearing pyjamas is always an interesting thing. Roll out of bed and go to a gig. Yes, it was amazing. The songs are so cool. I love Under the Radar. I have all of them. I even got I got the one song by Teddy on the Under the Radar 2. I got the tin, the metal one. One of the 1,000 there. And Rob needs to sign that again because it's fading. I love all collectible stuff. I have so many collectible items.
Were there any particular special highlights or favourite moments of Under the Radar?
All of it. Just being there was incredible. I loved my little lanyard too. As I'm a collectaholic, that was a great thing to have. Yeah, I love all of it. I'm trying to think of my favourite song. But there are just too many. Yeah. All of them are good. Those albums are pretty special. We need to do another one.
Yeah, he does.
We would like another Under the Radar.
Yes, I think we should all
definitely.
plan this.
Yeah.
Team up.
Yeah. So you've also met Robbie as well, haven't you?
Yes, I have met him twice.
Met him in Vegas?
Yes, and I met him New Year's Eve. That's when I very first got my photo at the New Year's Eve gig. I was actually given those tickets by somebody that couldn't go from my group, and she said, "Do you want them?" I was like, "Well, if I must." So yeah, and I came out. We were just coming out of the Westminster City Hall, if you want to remember that, and we saw the stage trucks, and we went over there, and then Rob come out, and this bloke said, "Can I have a photo?" He went, "Sarah deserves it more. She's got the biggest group." And I was like, oh my God, I was so embarrassed that he called my name and said that. And he did, and I was like, wow. And I was just having it, and it was like a surreal out-of-body moment when it actually happens and he knows your name. It's very amazing. Because I've been a fan since I was 11 years old. So to meet him was a dream come true. And I'm grinning from ear to ear.
You can probably see that on the podcast.
Have you got a camera as well? That's right.
You can feel the big smile on Sarah's face.
It's as bright as my jacket.
And so we're here in Dublin for the 25 tour. This isn't your first gig, though, is it, on this tour?
Birmingham as well. I'm only doing 2.
Right.
But yes, this is my last one, so early entry it is. And my husband treated me too.
Oh, nice.
Bless him. He's been to loads with me as well. He's done them all night, the Palladium, the Heart gig, Vegas. He went to Munich with me this year. That was his first gig abroad. I've done Belfast to see Robbie. So the list is just so big.
Yes. Yeah, we know the feeling.
More than I remember, actually. I do need to count them all.
Yeah. Well, Lucy does the memory thing for me because I can't remember all of them. So,
But every experience is magical.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Every Rob gig. And meeting you two is good too.
Well, meeting you as well. I feel as I said, I feel as I already knew you. And also being in Dublin's very special.
Yes,
I think
definitely.
it's a good. Well, we shouldn't really tell anyone, but it's a good gig to pick because the 3 Arena is just a really nice venue.
Yeah.
So I think tonight's going to be good.
Yeah, I'm excited.
We know he likes being in Ireland.
Excited. Yeah. And I can't wait to get my early entry pack as well.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I love Ireland. I saw him in Belfast, and that's when I first met him, actually. I'd come at the Titanic Museum.
I must have met you then.
I don't know.
Because I was there.
Just weren't that memorable.
I was fairly new to it all, though, then. And I'd come off the Titanic little sister ship, and we were walking back, and I said, "There's Rob over there." And I totally didn't even know he was there. Yeah. And he signed my Swings Both Ways album. I never got a picture of him because I was too shy.
He wasn't doing it.
No, but...
Oh, no, that was on the Friday you met him, wasn't
Yes,
it?
by accident.
I met him on the Saturday.
I didn't even know he was going to be there. I'd literally come out of a museum, passed it, and I was like, oh my God. That was
Wow.
mad.
Cool moments.
Unexpected. Very.
Well, enjoy the gig tonight, Sarah.
And you. It's
Yeah.
been wonderful to talk to you.
We will be dancing away with you at the front, I'm sure. Yeah. So, yeah. Great. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
There we go. A bit of an extended chat with Sarah there because, well, she's a celebrity of the Robbie world, isn't she?
Yeah.
Running Robbie Williams everything. Had a few good stories to tell. In fact, we had a much longer chat than that, obviously, while we were in the queue with you. So it's nice to meet you, Sarah, properly. Apparently we've never met before, but I feel as though I know you. So, yeah, that was cool. So back to Under the Radar. what do we have next? I wonder.
Well, this has got to be one of the best moments of the whole night. I know we've said that before, but Raver, oh my God. Just incredible.
I can't even describe how that made me feel, Raver. I was waiting for that one, absolutely waiting for it. And then, oh my God. And I think that wasn't that placed in a really good place in the set, don't you reckon?
Yeah. After Jesus in the camper van.
Yeah, because it's a bit on the home straight here towards the end.
Yeah.
And this absolutely lifted the roof off the place.
Yeah.
Everyone, the glow sticks came out and everyone just went for it. It was...
Everyone bouncing.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so good. And he really felt it, didn't he?
Totally.
He said at the end, well, that went down well or something like that.
He said, I guess this should have been on Take the Crown then. It was a massive round of applause. I mean, it really went off for that one.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think I've mentioned it on the podcast before in one of my very few little Instagram chats with Rob. He did ask me what my favourite was from the gig. And I said, in fact, my memory went completely blank for a moment, which doesn't surprise Lucy at all. And I just happened to be in the room when we had the set list. And I glanced over and I was like, of course it's Raver. And I just went, Raver. And he went, yeah, mine too. I think he was signing Christmas albums or something at the time.
Was, yeah.
I think he really felt that. Very cool song indeed.
Yeah.
And amazing live. Amazing live. So... let's hear from another one of our guest fans.
So we've got Kat from London with us.
Hello,
and
Kat.
Hello. Kat had a special, well, what do I say? You arrived last minute to the gig for a special reason.
I did. I was on holiday and I had the option of sort of, do I get a ticket, not get a ticket? Would I regret it if I don't get a ticket?
Yeah.
But not sure whether I was ever going to land on time. But we landed at Gatwick at 5:30 in the evening and I made it straight up to Camden, which was amazing. Made it to the gig, met up with some friends, which was lovely.
Yeah.
And it was just a fantastic gig. It was just one of the best ever. And I just hope it gets repeated.
Oh, so do we.
Because, you know, to have all those real sort of songs that the fans really enjoy, not the normal stuff, not the Angels where everyone walks out, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I should have said that or not. But anyway.
That's allowed. That's allowed.
You know, but yeah, too many songs to mention really. But it was just so nice to hear some of the old stuff that rarely gets heard these days. Plus all the new stuff from Under the Radar.
Yeah.
So.
And did you manage to put your pyjamas on when you left Gatwick Airport?
I didn't, unfortunately. And I don't think I would have done anyway. I'm a bit coy.
Well, at least you made the effort and you got there.
What time did you actually arrive at the concert?
I think it must have been about 7:30ish, I think.
Oh, okay.
And I had priority entry, and they wouldn't let me in.
Oh.
And they said you have to join the back of the queue, and I was like, oh, right, okay, let's see about that. And then I found somebody that did let me in, so I was able to get in a bit earlier. But it was great. It was really good.
Well, thank you for talking to us, Kat.
Thank you.
Nice to see you.
And you.
Cheers. Bye.
Yeah, lovely to see Kat there.
That was recorded at the O2 again.
Yep.
Yeah, we had a good old day there in that queue, recording with lots of people.
We did. So, what did we move on to next then, Liz?
Eyes on the Highway.
Yeah.
That was a great sing-along moment.
And he told the backstory, which obviously many of us know, but just in case you don't know, I guess we talked about it on the episode as well, but he told the story about, you know, how he's not ashamed to say that Grease the Musical is his favourite film.
Yeah.
He really loves it, and he loves John Travolta in it, and he talked about how he got to meet him, and I think he made a joke about he thought I was a dick or something, didn't he? He was like, no, he was very gracious and he was absolutely lovely.
Yeah.
And I think he saw him a month before that. Yeah, he saw him a month ago.
Yeah.
But he told the story about how he always wondered what happened when Sandy and Danny went off in the car up into the air, what happened when they actually would land again. And apparently this is the song about them landing. And we obviously had Orly on to talk about how she created the lyric video for that one, the amazing lyric video. We were very lucky actually to meet her in person at the Royal Albert Hall gig. So
just last night when we were recording this.
Hi, Orly. Yeah, just last night. We just don't stop, do we? It's basically podcast work every single night of the week and the weekend. We love it. So yeah, let's hear another special guest fan interview. So we're here with Mary from Italy, but lives in London. And what did you think about the Under the Radar gig?
That was lovely. It was hilarious, yes. And was the very first time that I brought my husband with me. Oh, right. And because of the 14 hours queuing, clearly it's not with me today. But I fell in love with Robbie too, so better than this. It was lovely, comfy, lovely, with pyjamas on.
That's a good first experience, actually, to take someone to. Did you explain to him that it wasn't going to be all the hits and there wasn't going to be angels and all that? Did you know that?
I think we've been just at the beginning of the relationship, so I think he just want to get my interest. So it turned just queuing under an umbrella for about 14 hours to get like the first line anyway. Yeah. But yeah, it was that, and it didn't know any of the songs, and it was keep asking me, "It's gonna sing something else," and I was no, and it was okay, but I like it, so that was great.
And did you have any personal highlights? Were there any favourite parts of the show that you remember in particular?
All of them. Like you can't say that you have a favorite. Like everything is lovely. But I got emotional when it was explained the reason why I wrote down "Highs on the Highway."
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I got really emotional in that. To be honest, it was lovely.
Oh. Well, Mary, thank you for talking to us. Lovely to meet you. Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Yeah, lovely chatting with Mary at the O2 there. So on with our Under the Radar journey.
Yeah. Another highlight coming up. No fucks.
No fucks. You enjoyed saying that, didn't you, Liz?
Yes. But once again, the place absolutely just went mental for this song.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just absolutely bouncing. Everyone was singing at the tops of their lungs.
And I loved it because once again on Chris's video where he put together a compilation of all the mobile phone footage, you can see someone FaceTiming a bloke and he's grinning his head off.
Yeah,
he just suddenly comes into shot.
Yeah, it's really clear. This bloke's face on the phone, just absolutely loving it.
And mobile phone signal or data signal is not something you normally have in a gig because normally it's just drowned out by the amount of people there. But yeah,
somehow they'd managed to do FaceTime.
There was not many people, so Summer of No Fucks Given.
Yeah, brilliant song.
Yeah,
and then he moved on to Do You Mind? Yeah, Do You Mind? That wasn't really one I was expecting him to play. It wasn't really on my radar.
Do you mind?
Yeah. That was the one. Was that the one with all the crazy lyrics where he said about the recliner chair and all of that?
Yeah, he read a verse back at the end, and he was like, "Oh my God, I must have been on some strong stuff back then." Can't believe I wrote those lyrics. Yes, that was a good song.
Yeah. And then another highlight, but there's been so many, I don't know why I keep saying it. Green Light.
Yeah.
And we had the green lasers like we normally get for Feel, but this time it was for Green Light.
Oh, that was a tingles moment. Not because of the lasers. That song is just quite... I think it's the way... I think we spoke about it on the episode. It's his vocal in it. Just goes right through you. It's really... Yeah, it was quite a moment.
Yeah. Everyone singing it, loving
a moment of moments of highlights of highlights.
It's impossible to pick, almost.
So let's hear from someone who kind of likes Green Light.
Yeah.
So we're here with David, and we're going to ask you about the Under the Radar gig. What did you go to the Under the Radar gig?
I did actually, yes. So it's good that you're asking me about it. Yes, it was a very special time. It was very simplistic. It was just a very calm experience. I think calm is a very good way to put it because we were all, in our pajamas, which was nice. And I think everybody was there for the same reasons. Do you know what I mean? Yes. And I think, with the songs being a bit different and he was just happy and we were just happy. And, and it's coming up to like 20 years of me and Bob following. Do you know what I mean? And, it's nice to be a guy, isn't it, Matt? You know,
But one of the few men.
yeah, one of the few men. But I mean, so I could go on about Robbie, you know that. But
what
yeah,
about
under the
gig?
radar.
What were your memories from the actual gig itself?
The actual gig itself. Bit upsetting at certain points where I didn't know all the lyrics. So you know me. Yeah. So yeah, I like knowing the lyrics. But I spent probably the first 6 months prior literally listening to 1, 2, and 3 consistently, constantly making sure. But that night Green Light came on and it was all very subdued and the laser lights, and I just remember him singing it, and yeah, it hit me very nicely. So Green Light big time stands out.
Yeah. Any other favourite moments from the gig?
I think the queue is quite cool, actually. I know people moaned about having to be on Camden High Street, but and in the rain. But it didn't matter because we were gathering for a reason. I know we're here today, but it was for a reason. It was quite special. No, the whole thing is a complete blur as well.
Yeah,
true. It
is.
Which was quite good. No, but Green Light stands out, telling you that.
Cool. Thanks, David.
No problem. Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.
Great energy from David. Yeah. Always good to see him at the gigs.
Yeah, he's American, but he lives in London.
Yeah, he loves Green Light as well. He loves it. So...
Then we went on to I Just Want People to Like Me.
From Under the Radar 3.
So many bangers, I mean...
Yeah, bangers, Lucy, bangers.
Bangers, yeah. I think, is it Dan Budd liked it when I kept saying banger?
Yeah, he did.
Taking the mick out of me.
He liked the way you were saying banger in your posh voice.
Yeah, so I Just Want People to Like Me. Yeah, that was a good one. It was like sort of near the encore. They didn't exactly have an encore because I don't think they actually left the stage, did they?
No, I don't think they did. I
remember, did they?
It's possible that the band wandered off a little bit. Yeah, I can't really remember.
Maybe some of the band left when they weren't needed for when it was a bit more of an acoustic near the end. I don't know. I can't remember. That's bad, isn't it?
I think what we should say though, because I probably missed it in my notes, there was a point where he just sat down on the edge of the stage. I think it was sort of 3/4 of the way through, wasn't it? Something like that. Just sat down, and obviously everyone was like super close, even if they weren't at the front. And Rob just kind of poured his heart out and said how much difficulty and mental illness and problems and stuff that he's been through, and he knows everybody else has been through their own trials and tribulations, but he basically said, "You've been there for me," and talked about how the sort of hardcore fan community and the people on the app had basically been there for him during really difficult times, and it had really helped him. And that was a really lovely moment, wasn't it?
He kind of said that people say to him, "Oh, that's really weird that you do that for your fans," and he said, "No, I don't do it for my fans. They do it for me."
Yeah.
So is that right? Is that what he said?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That was really nice. Just nice.
And one day we'd like the app or something similar back.
Yeah, it would kind of be nice if the management team are listening, or if Rob's listening, having a little connection to Rob would be useful.
Just nice to be able to ask questions about the songs, you know.
So, what did we move on to?
So we were talking about I Just Want People to Like Me, and I think we're going to hear from someone else we met in Dublin.
And I've just looked at my notes, and I cocked up a moment ago. That is the point that you came down and said thank you.
Ah, okay.
And
so that was almost like an encore.
Sat down.
Moment.
So that was the point where he kind of just everything. I think the band might have been having a drink or wandering off, and and then they came back. So let's hear from one of our guest fans who rather likes that song.
So we've got Michael from Poland here. Hi, Michael.
Hi, Michael.
Hi there.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
In the flesh, anyway.
Yeah.
We've met online a few times.
Yeah.
So we're in Dublin, and we thought we'd ask Michael a few questions about the Under the Radar gig, because we know he was there.
Yeah, I was there, and that gig was awesome, I would say.
Yeah.
It was kind of special. Yeah. And I loved your pyjamas thing.
Oh.
It was absolutely awesome.
Yeah. Well, our matching pyjamas.
Yeah.
You had pyjamas on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had one with shorts. So it was pretty cold after that. But it was fine. And after the gig, I found we were sightseeing and I went with my friends to Marks and Spencer.
Yeah.
And I found the same pyjamas as Ben has. I think it was Carl and Gary. Gary has the green one. I have the same.
So just to explain, Michael loves Gary Nuttall.
Yes. Yeah.
Can you tell us why or how that came
tell
about?
Us about the Gary thing.
I went with my mom to the first Robbie gig. It was in 2015, I think, in Krakow. Back then, I listened to Robbie music, and it was kind of, you are growing up with him, even in Poland.
Yeah.
You know his songs and all, but I never was to a real thing like a concert or something. So I wasn't know what to expect. I just stand at the back, and then I think it was Mofo, the first song that he sang with Gary.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, now I'm fan. And since then, I'm just traveling around just to see them. Yeah.
Cool.
Did you play the guitar?
Yeah, because of Gary. I wanted to play before when I was 11 or something like this. Yeah, I kind of found Angus Young from AC/DC. He's a great guitarist. And I was like, oh, okay, I want to play the guitar back then, but it kind of went down. I had no time or money or anything to even buy or something. And then when Gary came out, I had my own money and everything, so I could buy a guitar, and then I started to play like a real thing I'm kind of into right now.
Yeah.
Cool. And just coming back to the Under the Radar gig,
sorry.
did you have any favourite moments, any parts of the gig that really stick out for you?
I think during the song People to Like Me, I don't remember them.
I just want
people to like me.
Yeah.
It's absolutely something that Rob could put on his normal set list. It's very dancing and everything. It moves people around. And also Coffee, Tea and Sympathy.
Yeah.
There are songs that Under the Radar was so special because there were songs that he never played before. And as for the first time, when hearing or singing to them or dancing on having fun, it was absolutely blast, I would say. It was great.
Great. And any other favourite Robbie memories from watching him or seeing his tours?
I have to think because I'm mostly watching Gary.
Right. Or any other favourite Gary memories then?
I think Troxy one. The Troxy one. Yeah, it was the first time when he knew about my existence. Yeah. And then he talked to me from the stage because they have some kind of technical problems, and then he was talking to me. Yeah. So that was a special moment.
Because you've got the Gary Nuttall fans Twitter.
Yeah, I have.
That's right. Cool. And we're here in Dublin. Are you looking forward to the Dublin gig?
Absolutely, yes.
Have you seen the show before on this tour? Is this the first
from
time?
your podcast. From your live auditions when you were live videos. Yeah.
Oh, so you've seen a few spoilers from us.
Yeah, and it was great, I think. We will see. I read some like articles or something that they said that this tour is amazing, that Rob is in his high level form or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely. I'm absolutely looking forward to it.
Well, thank you for speaking to us, Michael, and enjoy the gig.
Yeah, I hope.
Thanks.
I will.
It was really nice to meet up with Michael, wasn't it?
Yeah, because we've chatted online, so it's nice to meet in person.
Yeah, it's lovely to spend some time with him and his mum and
his friend.
His friend in Dublin. Lovely. So we're getting near to the end, Lucy.
Yeah, kind of the encore.
So we've had the emotional chat and connection, that lovely chat with Rob sat on the side of the stage.
Yeah.
And then in October, it was October, wasn't it, the gig? It's time for a Christmas tune.
Yeah, California Christmas.
Unreleased.
Yeah, and he said, I played this to Guy, and he said, why didn't you play me that before? It's brilliant. And Robbie said, I fucking did. Yeah.
That was quite nice, actually. I think we'd heard it on Insta.
Yeah, he had played it on Insta, yeah.
We'd heard it on Insta, but obviously one of his faves about having a a Californian Christmas where it's all hot and no snow, and
And he was quite impressed that some people in the audience knew the words.
Yeah. He's like, how do you know the words? It's not released. It's not out. I think a lot of people recorded it off Instagram, Rob.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
So, before we come on to our very last song, we have a super special guest joining us on the podcast, who we have known for a long time, actually. And we've chatted with in the chat rooms, and we've followed his Facebook page and watched his videos. And that person is, Lucy?
Chris from Germany.
Yeah.
So he creates amazing videos out of other people's footage, puts it all together to, make it feel like a proper produced edit,
film,
really.
Yeah. And so, for those of you listening, we're about to go into a little interview with Chris, which is a little bit longer than most because we wanted to make sure that Chris was featured on, our podcast. He definitely deserves a place. But what I will do on the website page for this episode, definitely go to it. If you have not seen the Under the Radar gig, Chris has produced that as an entire video and you'll hear about how that happened in this interview, but definitely go on there, click on the link and watch that on YouTube.
Yeah, it's a great way of reliving it or living it if you weren't there.
It's so nice. Lucy and I actually had a little, I guess it was podcast work really, but we had a little break the other night, didn't we? And actually just sat down and watched the whole thing. It was so good.
Yeah.
So enjoy this interview with Chris.
So we've got Chris from Germany joining us, who is the wonderful person who has made the Under the Radar concert out of everyone's mobile phone and camera footage, created a whole video of the whole concert, which we can watch on YouTube and enjoy it forevermore. And it's all thanks to Chris. And so we had to get him on to this episode. So hello, Chris.
Hello, Chris.
Hello, Lucy. Hello, Matt. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. We had to. We've known you for quite a long time now, I think. We got to know you by chatting in up front and online and on Facebook, on your Facebook pages as well. You do such a good job of representing Robbie to his fans through the pages that you have and through the videos that you create. I mean, you are a very important part of the community, as I was saying to you before the recording. We're very pleased to have you on the podcast.
Thank you. But in fact, I think you are even better than me, and I'm very jealous, to be honest, because you are doing such a great job. And I know it takes a long time, so it's a lot of effort.
Yeah, it is.
It is, yeah. We haven't really done anything else. Well, we work, but we haven't done anything else for the past year in our spare time, really, other than the podcast. I mean, a little bit with our children, but yeah, Lucy's researching and I'm editing. It's the general state in our house. I'm on the computer, she's on the computer in different rooms. Sometimes we chat and then we come together to record episodes.
Yeah. So, Chris, tell us why you decided to put together a whole video of the concert. How did that come about?
First of all, it was because I wanted to experience the concert myself because I couldn't go for some reasons. Mm-hmm. And I also knew that everybody would love to watch such a video, either because they haven't experienced it, or they have and they wanted to watch it again. So I thought everybody would love that, and I would love that. So I wanted to make the video.
Yeah.
Tell us about how was the process of doing that, and how long did it take you to put that together?
Actually, it took a very long time. So it took 17 months.
Wow. I mean, that's longer than we've been doing the podcast already. So I understand the commitment for you doing that.
So the process was, I'm active on 2 pages on Facebook, and I'm also a member of some groups, also of your group, and I asked the people if they would have recorded something on the concert and if they could send it to me because I wanted to make a video of it. So I got a lot of videos. I don't know how many people took part in it. I think it was 30 or 40 people who sent
I think
me.
it was 48, I think, because we watched it last night. I'm sure you said at the end in the credits, thank you to the 48 people who sent.
Okay, I can't
footage.
remember. Yeah, maybe 48. Yeah, and I got a lot of videos, and my goal was to implement as many people as possible. So this editing was a bit different from the other videos that I did because I wanted to have as many people in there.
Right.
Yeah.
So actually, I'm not very happy about this video because I don't like when people film in portrait mode. Yeah.
Oh, Chris, I can agree with you on that one. I totally share your frustration with that.
I really don't like it. So I'm not. So if you watched the video yesterday, you know that when there are portrait mode videos, I took 3 side by side, and that was a solution that I didn't really like. But if I would have taken only one, then it would be just a small part of the whole screen.
Yeah.
So I took the 3, but I am not very happy about that, to be honest.
Yeah, but I think it's good because the way you did it, like you sort of timed it with the music. Sometimes you'd have like the middle 3, the middle one of the 3 come up on the first beat, and then like, you know, a couple of beats later the left, and then a couple of beats later the right, and you timed it all so well that it worked.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks it's a nice media change. Actually, it's a nice switch. You know.
Okay.
I think from a creative artistic point of view, it actually works really nicely in there. But
okay,
I can understand you as the creator. You know, you have a certain vision of how you want it to look, and then you know you have to compromise. But yeah, I think it looks great.
Yeah.
And by the way, we really enjoyed watching it last night. It's so helpful to have that gig for posterity. I mean, obviously we had a few videos, but it was such a sensational gig that we probably didn't take as many as we might have done.
Yeah.
No, because we wanted to enjoy it in the moment.
So it was so lovely. It's so lovely to watch it back. Really helpful, actually. Just small things like when Flynn came out on stage, or certain things that Rob said in between, or certain lyrics he might have slightly got wrong. Or it just brought back all those memories.
Yeah.
And also, we know that Rob watched it as well, don't we? Because you posted it on the app.
Yeah, I posted it on the app and you watched it. But that was really funny too, because after everybody knew that Rob watched it, everybody said, "Oh, Chris, how lucky you are. Rob watched the whole video." And everybody knew that he normally don't watch his own concert. So
no, he doesn't.
Yeah, so everybody was excited, but I wasn't, because the only thing he said after watching the gig was, "Oh, wasn't I great?" So he didn't say, "Oh, Chris, you have done an amazing job." He didn't say something like that. He only said, "Oh, wasn't I great?"
So you got a Robbie reply rather than a Rob reply.
Yeah. But that was okay.
I'm sure he felt it, Chris. I'm sure he felt it, even if he didn't say it. I mean, that gig was so special to him. I was commenting to Lucy when we were watching it yesterday. The real authentic smile that he had on, and I think we've known Rob for a long enough time. We know when he's acting a smile, and we know when he's really having a smile, and he was happy wasn't he? He was just, in fact, ecstatic.
You could see it.
Yeah.
So when the concert, fortunately, Karen McCuskey streamed the concert. Not in a good quality, but I could watch it and I was so euphoric. And it went on for 2 days. So I was totally excited about this. And this was really a special concert, I have to say. So you could see how happy he was and how much fun it was for him. That was amazing, really.
Yeah.
Hopefully it happens again.
Yeah.
Yes, well, we really hope so.
Yes, and it reminded us watching it that he said, the next one of these, that song, we'll do that in the next Under the Radar gig.
Yeah,
and
it's been 3 years.
Yeah, we've lost touch with him a little bit, like we used to have, unfortunately. So let's see. I hope he will do something like that again. I think he's got so many projects going on over the next year or two that I think it's going to be a bit busy, but I reckon he'll want to do it again.
Yeah, I think so too.
Did you have a particular favourite moment or song from the gig, Chris?
There are some songs that I like a lot. I can't say you can pick out one particular song or so. So it was amazing from the start to the end. So when I edited it, I really like to edit Dirty Rotten because I could do some quick cuts. Yeah, so that was really fun to edit. And Raver was great.
That's one of my favourites, Chris. Raver.
Yeah. Raver
really
great.
Yeah.
The whole thing was amazing, really. And even if I haven't been there, I experienced everything, so I'm really happy about that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know that the fan community are really appreciative of what you've done because, that took a lot of work to put that together. And, I do some editing myself, mainly audio, but I do video sometimes for work. And I know how painstaking it can be and how, you always want to get every frame absolutely spot on. And so it can be a real labour of love. So, thank you on behalf of everybody for doing it because it needed to be filmed for posterity. And, I don't think if you hadn't have picked it up, I'm not sure that anything like that would have happened. So thank you.
Yeah, whatever happened with the recording that the camera team took there?
Yeah.
Well,
who knows?
Yeah. We don't
it'll
know.
Be in the Netflix documentary or something. Bits of it.
I think it might because they were interviewing people in the queue as well, weren't they?
Yeah.
And they all had to sign media release forms and things.
Okay.
So it was obviously going to be used for something. And I'm wondering whether Netflix was filming maybe all the way back then, or a production company was. Maybe it wasn't Netflix at that point. But I have a feeling they were doing like a fly on the wall type documentary. It seemed that way because there was other people with cameras walking around and they were steady cams, proper professional, like broadcast cameras. So maybe we will see some of that. Maybe there's some behind the scenes footage. Yeah. We can only hope, Chris.
Yeah.
There's hope.
You also created another, was it one or two other videos of concerts that Robbie's done? You did one in Hanover.
Yes, 2 in Hanover.
2? Right. So was it Take the Crown was the first one that you created?
Yeah, and I called it The Unforgettable Concert.
Yes.
Because it was unforgettable. And then the other one was from Let Me Entertain You, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was in Hanover as well, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Because I think Robbie said that the Hanover Take the Crown concert was his favourite one of that tour.
Yes,
the crowd
he
was
said
just
that.
Off the scale or something, wasn't
he said that, and in his book he also wrote that on this evening he decided to name his next dog Showbiz. It was on that evening. He decided that. So, yeah, and he cried in the end, so it was really special.
Wow.
And you were at that concert, weren't you?
Yeah, I was at that concert. I could tell you what happened on that day, because it was a very hot day. It was a very humid day. And in the afternoon, there was a huge thunderstorm. The ice damaged cars, roofs, windows. So it was really heavy. And after this thunderstorm, suddenly the sky cleared up. The sun came out, and then the concert started, and this was Robbie came out. How is it called? This slack line, or how is it called? When he came.
The zip wire.
Zip wire, yeah.
Wire. Okay, it was broken in Hanover. So he couldn't use that. And he came out on stage. But as we know him, when he is a superstar, so chewing his chewing gum and hey, I'm the greatest somehow. So that's the way he comes out. And as the concert went on, he more and more became like one of us. Yeah, this was really an experience I've never had before. It was like there was magic in the air. So really, really special what happened there. And
wow.
For example, he took a little girl, 10 years old, on stage and sang for her, She's the One. Oh my God, this was really intense. In the end, he cried on stage. Yeah, and yeah, then I came home and watched my footage and thought, oh, what if I had a look on YouTube, if other people would have filmed something. And then I watched it, especially those videos from people from front of stage. And then I thought, because I was in the seats, then I thought, oh, what if I mix it together? Yeah, and then I made a video of Angels. It took me only a few hours, and then I uploaded it and noticed that the response was very, very high. So I posted it on Facebook, and people reacted to that and asked me, oh, if I could do another video. And so this whole thing started somehow.
Yeah. So that's where it all began.
Yeah, that's when it all began. Yeah.
Wow. And there's something special about capturing Rob when he's on form. I mean, he's usually on form, but when he's really, really emotionally connected, like you said at that concert. And obviously, there's so many videos that get taken, but there's not always videos that really capture like a whole concert or whole songs. So there's something special about that. And I wonder, do you know what your highest what's your most popular video that you've got on YouTube? I'm intrigued. I haven't checked recently. Where's the one where you've got all the hits?
The most popular video actually is the Unforgettable Concert.
Right.
So it has, I think it has 1.5 million views.
Wow.
Also.
Blimey.
So unfortunately, the management took all the single videos from that concert out or blocked it on YouTube.
Oh.
But they let the Unforgettable Concert stay on it. And I can tell you one crazy thing with what happened with this video. at some point, I think so, 2 or 3 months after I've released it, suddenly in the video, a hint came saying that suggested by Robbie Williams. So they were able to go into the video and put a link, or how do you call it, a banner,
advert.
Yeah, a kind of advert in it, and said suggested by Robbie Williams. And at first it went from the start to the end. So I made screenshots of it. I can send it to you. That he suggested the video, and when you searched for Robbie Williams, it was the first result for almost a year, I think.
So in a way, the management got behind your video and started pushing it.
Yes.
Well, that's good. Well, it's good that they got on board and they didn't just, block it.
Yeah.
That was
because people want the content, so let's just get on board, and I'm sure they take the money for it.
Yeah.
So why not let everyone see it?
Yeah. So I can't monetize the videos.
No, of course.
No.
They can, yeah.
Yeah.
But that was
we know. We know what it's like to make no money out of doing what we do. So we don't make any money out of the podcast. And nor did we intend to, really. But we do it because we love doing it. And we get to meet amazing people like you. And we get to interview interesting people. And that's on that point, we can't let you go without talking about your latest creation of Kids from the O2. Opening night at the O2, I think it was, where we were all part of your film crew, a number of us who volunteered, and we filmed in landscape mode.
That was
all landscape,
really
wasn't it, Chris? It was all highly precision planned beforehand. The only challenge was nobody quite knew where they were actually going to be standing. And then a few people were from the seats. But yeah, we did a film of Kids. How did the idea come to you to do that one?
I was in contact with Dinosh, and I thought usually all the people only film Rob, so the band is never to see in a video, and I thought that's not fair. So I thought I would like to take a video. Or to make a video, to edit a video with all the band members also to be seen. Yeah, and then I in my group I asked the people who would go to which concert on or at the UK and Ireland tour, and I noticed that most people would go to the opening night. So I thought that would be the best chance to do such a video. So I needed as many people as possible who were front of stage, because I wanted to have those close-ups. And I already knew your videos, so yours, Lucy, and yours, Matt, and I always liked them. So I knew exactly what would come out of that when you would be filming. And I wanted Matt to film the girls and Lucy to film Rob. So that was kind of guaranteed to have a good video after that, And
we do try and be as steady as possible, and we didn't sing, so we kept quiet during the whole song.
Thanks for that. Yeah, and if you watch the video, you will see that most of the footage comes from you. So
I did notice that.
Well, I thank you, and I it was a unique experience for me. I think Yeah, we do generally film Rob. Sometimes we do film the band. We're always interested in seeing what Dinosh and the girls are doing in the horn section, but it was a nice experience for me just to stay focused on the girls. Actually, I'm sure the people next to me must have wondered what I was doing because I was silent and I was just filming forward when Rob walked down the walkway, and they were like, "He's not turning round.
Yeah,
what's he doing?" And you were obviously following him, but
I was following Rob.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Chris, it came out really well. It absolutely is an incredible video, and it's so lovely of you to dedicate it to Dinosh as well. She absolutely deserves that, and it was lovely to see her on stage interacting with Rob and them kind of hugging and dancing together. That was perfect moment.
Yeah, I'm really happy with the result, I have to say, and that doesn't happen very often, to be honest. So I'm a perfectionist. Yeah, I'm really happy about the result.
And have you has Dinosh seen it yet? Do you know? Have you heard from her yet?
Yeah, she has watched it.
Oh,
I don't know if it is good when I say it, but she was a bit scared to watch it. But it's really personal. I don't know if you have an idea why she was a bit scared, but
we know. Yeah, she's not been well.
Even though I think she looked pretty good.
Yeah,
she looked fantastic, I think.
She did,
absolutely.
And she sung great.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know that she had been ill.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it would have been better if I would have made this maybe in half a year or in a year. But it is as it is, and I like it.
Yeah, I think it's great. Really, really good video. And again, just nice to see different angles, like you say, just nice to see the band, because the more and more we've talked about Rob and the band, the more it's obvious that it's a show, isn't it? It's not. Yes, most people do go to see Rob, but all of the band are part of the show, and they do put on a show, and they do sort of choreograph little moves and little things that they do to. I think people don't realise that makes the experience much richer. The fact that the band do interact with him and actually move with him. Not all acts, not all celebrity pop star acts necessarily do that, do they? Sometimes it's just them and the band's at the back.
Yeah.
So.
And especially Kids is a song where the whole band is involved, very much involved.
Yeah.
So not only the singers, also the Atlantic horns, and what I found funny is I wanted to take some scenes filming Gary, because he's never to see in those videos.
Yeah,
but he didn't move at all in this during this song. So I thought maybe one scene is enough of showing him. All the band were moving, but he didn't move at all. So this was funny, I think.
Yeah.
Gary is very special.
Yeah, we met Michael, who runs the Gary Nuttall fans Twitter when we were in Dublin.
Yeah.
And he was telling us all about Gary. And I think he was the one that asked you why Gary wasn't featured in it too much. And I saw you say, well, he didn't move.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he was only standing there. It was really funny.
Oh, well, Chris, it's been so nice to talk to you.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, and keep the creativity coming, Chris, because everybody loves it. Your work is really, really well received by the fan community. And, we don't always get a lot of video and assets from Rob's team, let's say. We get the odd one, a few things. So actually, when you produce something cool, I think people really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And as you know, we're always happy to help in any way with your work.
Thank you very much. Maybe we can do it again. We will see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us on the podcast, Chris, and talking about Under the Radar and the various projects that you've worked on. As I said, we love your work, and hopefully we'll speak again soon.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Cheers. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
So thank you, Chris, for joining us. That was incredible. Wasn't it so nice speaking to Chris?
Yeah, really interesting.
Yeah.
17 months to make that video.
Oh, absolute labour of love. I mean, painstaking. For those of you out there that have ever tried editing, once you get into it, you become an absolute perfectionist with things. And I do on the podcast occasionally, but, we're word perfect all the time, so there's not really any editing required here. But
not true.
Yeah. But Chris, you put in so much effort to create such a lovely, just a lovely memory for everyone. Yeah. And preserving that memory. So, yeah, that's really, you play a very special part. And obviously, for those of you that follow Chris on Facebook, RWMBE and Unforgettable Concert, it puts out some great content. So thanks, Chris. What did he do for the finale, Lucy?
Well, the same as he did at the dress rehearsal, which was Into the Silence, because he just loves that song. He says it's the song he's most proud of, lyrically and musically. He just thinks it's amazing. And it is, it's incredible.
Yeah, that was a real moment, because those long, lingering vocals on Into the Silence are just, again, they just send shivers down your spine. So I think it was it was an incredible way to end. And obviously, he was never going to end on any of the hits or anything like Angels. It was definitely not Angels territory. So there was something very, very special about that. And then obviously the band came forward and they all did their bow. I think they were there for quite a while, weren't they?
Yeah.
Doing their bows and sort of waving at people. And there was no professional run off the stage like they normally would do in a normal gig. They were just really soaking it up. And that was a special moment. Really, really special.
Yeah.
And he didn't do any sing-along bits at the end, did he?
No, I don't think so. I think he just walked off.
We were wondering whether My Way might come out, but didn't.
No.
Just too cliche.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an incredible gig. Yeah, we wanted to just go on all night, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a
Euphoric.
curfew and you had to leave.
Yeah.
So, just before we wrap up this episode, make sure you subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss out. And also, Lucy and I would really appreciate it if you can leave us a star rating. You can do this on both Apple and Spotify podcasts. We would also love it if you could write us a short review, and you can do this on Apple. Don't forget, you can check out our episode notes for each episode and links to all tracks and videos at robbiewilliamsrewind.com. You can also email us at email@robbiewilliamsrewind.com. Please also follow and chat on our social channels. It's at RewindRobbie on Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. And you can also like and follow our Facebook page, Robbie Williams Rewind. And before we return to this episode, you might also consider sending us one of your own Robbie stories for the show. Just record a short audio clip on your phone and email it to us. Please check the website for more details. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
And then it was really nice because it was very hard to actually leave because obviously security wanted to get people out of the building, but everyone was hugging and saying hi and meeting up who they hadn't met before. there was just such a lovely vibe in that venue. I mean, literally, people could have just stayed there all night chatting and meeting people. So we all got kind of turfed out onto the pavement into Camden late at night. And
buzzing.
And most people carried on the pavement, saying hello to people in the local bars. It was very nice. We went across the road and had a drink. It was so nice. It was just a lovely, lovely evening. And thank you to everyone that we met there. I mean, we weren't doing the podcast back then, but thank you to everyone that's joined us in this episode and given us their views. There's obviously many more people we could have spoken to, but thank you for those that did give us a little interview about it. It's nice to sort of relive it and bring back those incredible memories.
Yeah.
Was there a particular highlight for you, Lucy? I mean, it kind of might be quite obvious. But
I think I've said it, the 80s.
The 80s?
Yeah.
For me...
amazing.
For me, it would be Raver.
Yeah, Raver was a highlight as well.
But then everything else.
Well, yeah, just the whole thing. The whole concert.
It's just incredible. So good. And I'd love to speak to someone that was... I think he said at one point... Carlsberg were running a competition. I don't know whether he made this up actually, because it seemed a bit odd, Carlsberg. But yeah, Carlsberg running a competition to send people here, as a prize. I hope they know they're not going to get all their hits.
I think that was if Carlsberg did concerts, this would be the best ever.
Probably the best, yes.
But the problem is if someone won a competition and they didn't actually agree that it was the best ever because they didn't know any of the songs.
Yeah. It was the best ever though. And Rob and band and everybody involved, incredible. We need another one. This is our official petition going out to the management, to Rob, to the band. We need another one.
Also, can I petition for the footage that was clearly being filmed? They had a professional recording crew. It wasn't just Leo. There were all kinds of cameras there. There was a whole crew. They were interviewing people out on the pavement. Where is that footage? Please, we'd really like to see it.
Oh, 2 petitions.
Yes.
We're pushing it now.
I mean, maybe it's going to be used in the Netflix documentary. Hope so. It just really needs to be seen.
Yeah. Oh, it'd be exciting to see it. Really well, but yeah, really well.
It's been 3 years now. Come on. We need to see it.
You go, Lucy, go. So there we go. Anything more to say about Under the Radar gig in Camden?
No. Just we were very, very lucky to be there.
Very lucky, very grateful, Rob and team, for you arranging something so special. Not many other artists, if any, do things like that, and it was extremely appreciated by everybody, and we just had the most amazing, memorable night, and we'll be talking about it when we're 95, no doubt. And boring the people with it who just don't understand. But we know everyone listening probably understands, and for those of you that weren't there, hopefully you've got a bit of an insight into what that was all about and how special that night was. And obviously check the webpage. Definitely check the webpage on this one, because we'll provide some photos and we'll stick the links to Chris's video and a few other bits on there as well. So yeah, go and check that out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good. So I think on our next episode, we're going to be covering the Christmas album.
Oh, happy Christmas.
Yeah.
And the first part, CD1, The Christmas Past, will be with Sarah from Canada.
Yeah, looking forward to that. Do you know what, Lucy? It only seems like yesterday we were sat here recording the last Christmas special.
Oh, blimey. What, for the swing?
The swing
when you're winning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Goodness me. So, yeah, we're looking forward to recording with Sarah on that one. So, yeah, don't miss the next episode.
Okay. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, then.
Bye.
Bye.
Robbie Williams Rewind.